Good morning, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you 12 tips to start learning Korean after my last video. A lot of people are like, I really want to get to that level, but I have no idea where to start. Well, I'm here to help. Let me just say that learning a language is really hard. I got to the level I was in 3 months because I studied 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, on top of studying outside of class and having to talk to people in Korean, and I was just forced. So if you are too young to do like a language exchange yet, or you don't have enough money, or it's not in like your life plan, then these are things you could do in your own house. So I'm here to make learning the basics a little more easier for you. And those of you who are not basic, around my level or above, I have another video coming up for you because I'm going to show you how I'm continuing learning Korean even after leaving Korea for a little bit, you know, so I don't forget it. But these are for those of you who know like a word or two. Okay, my first tip is to learn pronunciation first. I've read a few articles and I've seen a few videos where they're like, ignore pronunciation, don't focus too much on pronunciation, but I think what's the point of learning a foreign language if no one can understand you? Like, you'll probably never get to a native accent. I won't either, but like, try to get as close to it as possible. So a few ways you could do this, a lot of you are probably doing it, is to watch dramas, watch TV shows, listen to podcasts in Korean. That's not right. Let me adjust my speaking a little bit. Also, watch Korean-based YouTube channels, and I don't mean like foreigners living in Korea. I mean like Koreans YouTubing their videos in Korean, so you can get a feel of how everyday speech is like. You see the doggy? I'm pet sitting. Hey Lotus. Hi. I really recommend learning Hangul because, I don't know, that's the writing they go by. Do not rely on romanization. I'm telling you, the spellings, you'll pronounce it differently than what it's pronounced, and nobody knows what you're gonna say. So if you'd like, I can make like a Hangul video, but I'm not Korean and I don't know if you trust my pronunciation, so I'll link videos in the description to what I use to learn Korean. And so if you have to watch that video 10 times, watch the video 10 times. Take notes. I feel like the only time romanization is okay is writing out the syllables, the consonants, like how it sounds. But after you kind of get a feel, don't ever use romanization. Got it? Got it. So after you learn Hangul and you feel really comfortable with it, you're still a little slow, but you got it, I recommend reading out loud. So maybe you can just start off with syllables, just start one at a time, or then you can transfer to kids' books. Yeah, they're usually pretty simple. Even if you don't understand it, you're going to get into the practice of reading Hangul and getting used to seeing it, getting used to reading it. Your speed will go faster, but I want you to speak it as you're reading it so you can fix your pronunciation as you're going and get practice reading. Oh, and after you learn Hangul, you could go on like lyric websites, find your favorite Korean song and read the lyrics in Korean, and maybe you can learn the song. Tip number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tip number 4. Don't translate anything. You're gonna translate some words. It's gonna happen. But if you're gonna make flashcards, I recommend instead of writing the English translation, maybe draw a picture. So for like 안녕하세요, draw a hand waving or something. I don't know how to describe it. Just don't translate your stuff. I read this book. What is it called? I don't know what it's called, but the person who wrote the book gave a list, your first 6,000 words in a foreign language. I will link that PDF below, but those words you can start off with your flashcards. And if you go on Quizlet, you can make your flashcards and use emojis and pictures as the translation, but do not write the English word or your native language word. Don't translate it to any language, just Korean and pictures. Kind of make, yeah. This one I think also could help with the pronunciation, but it's multitasking and passive listening. So you can either put a drama on, or you can use podcasts to have in the background while you're cleaning, cooking, what's that word? Not drive, commuting, when you're commuting, exercising, doing your makeup, getting ready for the morning. You could have that always on in the background, so you're getting used to the Korean language and what it's supposed to sound like. And yeah, my favorite podcast app, I found it in Korea. It's a Korean broadcasting app. It's called Spoon, and just regular people make broadcasts, and I have no idea what they're saying like 95% of the time, but I use it to practice my listening. My listening is like my strongest skill, but some people struggle with it, so I feel like this tip will really help. So tip number 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tip number 2, this is my favorite tip actually, and I still use it. It's to change all of your settings, your phone, your laptop, your tablet, to the language you're learning. So in this case, Korean. So my phone is in Korean, and this way you're gonna learn new words. So if you accidentally press delete and you delete something important, I'm pretty sure you're never gonna forget the word delete, and you'll kind of read it every day, even if it's slow. Just change it. Immerse yourself. So tip number 8 or 8, I want you, with the words you do know, I want you to think them in Korean. So like so as you're learning the basics, you'll probably know the word like tree and chair. So I don't want you to think, oh, what a pretty tree. No, I want to think, what a pretty namu. Oh, I want to sit down in that 의자. Like, just think in the words you know. I do that. Some words I always say in Korean. So when you're thinking in your head, you're usually like, I don't know, with your family, in public. But the next step, I want you to speak out loud. If you're alone or with someone who's learning Korean with you, speak out loud. And you're like, 배고파, 나 피곤해요. Just stuff you know, like, 배고파, oh look, 빵. Just with the stuff you know, just speak it out loud. Get practice speaking, even if you're talking to yourself. 피곤해요, 배고파, you know. This one was actually hard for me because I don't normally speak to myself, but if you get into the habit, especially if you don't have a speaking partner, this could really help with pronunciation, hearing yourself pronounce words, and your speaking. I heard this from somewhere, I don't know where, but learning a language, it's like, learn like you're a toddler again, but not all the way toddlers. Like, toddlers don't make flashcards, but you are going to learn basic words first. So you know how babies learn like mama, dada, so you're gonna learn mom, dad. You're gonna learn the kind of not important stuff, but important stuff. So if you think of yourself as a toddler, I want you to read kid books, you know, get practice reading Hangul, get practice writing, watch kid shows. There's this kid show on YouTube that I can link. It's really easy to follow if you already have a good grasp of Korean. So you can move on to grammar, and I will link a few different websites that have really good grammar tips, and it'll help you with basic grammar. Also, if I didn't mention this, you need a notebook. You should get a notebook. So maybe you could write like 5 new words a day, or maybe you can write your grammar rules. You need a notebook. Get a cute little notebook. And with the grammar, use these free websites and YouTube videos and resources to your advantage. There's so many free ones. They're probably just as good as the paid ones. If you like having a physical book, you could buy one, but it's not necessary. And this one isn't really a tip, but it's just a statement. I don't really recommend getting, if you're a really beginner, I don't recommend getting a language partner yet, just because it wouldn't be mutually beneficial with a language partner. You'd like help them with English or your language, and then they would help you with Korean. But if you only know like 5-6 words, it's not going to be really much of an exchange. So I feel like after you get comfortable, after you feel like you can have basic conversations, then get a language partner. But right now, let's not think about that. You gotta build your own foundation yourself, and I hope this video helped you a little bit. Any resources or websites I mentioned, it will be in the description. And I know it's summer and nobody wants to study, so I try to keep these tips a little chill, like, you know, watch some dramas, kind of focus on their pronunciation, you know, read some kid books. Like, I'm not gonna make you study 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, no. So, thank you for watching my video. Wanna say bye? No? Okay. Okay, she doesn't wanna say bye.